One of the biggest rules of being a magician is not to reveal the secrets. That's the reason that many great magicians have come and gone, but their magic still remains a mystery to most of us. But not anymore. So be it Dynamo's famous fish from bucket trick or Darcy Oak's dove and cage trick, today we'll be revealing some of the greatest magic secrets of all time. Sword stabbing trick. James Moore once performed a great sword trick on Britain's Got Talent where he got himself stabbed. First, the assistant placed James on the tip of the sword and left him. Few seconds later, the sword goes through his body, leaving the viewers and judges completely in shock. The two helpers then lifted him off the sword and he was alright. The trick generated quite a buzz and puzzled millions who couldn't believe how he has done it. Well, here's the secret. James had a special support on his back, hidden under his clothes. And also he has a small slot to hold the sword in it. Now, when the assistant placed him on the top, the sharp tip of the sword falls and is hidden inside the bottom part and then enters the hole in the support. This makes James balance in the air. At the same moment, a fake sword appears from his stomach, which is the device that creates the illusion of a sword going straight through him. Wasn't it shocking? Head drop illusion. Yes, even this insane trick is explainable. In this magic trick, as you can see, the performer walks on the stage, starts performing, and all of a sudden his head drops off to the middle of his chest. And then, to the amusement of the audience, he holds his head with one hand and brings back his head to the original position. This isn't real, you must be wondering. Well, here's the secret how he does it. To perform this trick, the magician uses a black jacket just long enough to cover his knees and a button-down collar shirt for the outside part of the costumes. For the internal part, he simply creates a triangular frame which looks like this, using a hanger, 2 wooden sticks and a duct tape. After this, he hangs the black jacket on the hanger, wears it and makes it sure that the wooden sticks are in front of him, so that this whole setup is entirely covered by the jacket. Now, while performing on the stage, he simply lifts his jacket by pushing the coat hanger attached to the wooden sticks. At the same moment, he brings his head down through the V-shaped frame present inside the internal costume. Simultaneously, he holds his dropped off head with his left hand to make this trick appear more realistic. And finally, to complete this trick, the magician pulls his head back up with his left hand. Darcy Oak's cage illusion. If you know Darcy Oak, you might very well remember his famous dove illusion, which he performed in one of the Britain's Got Talent shows. In his magic trick, what he did with those birds was just amazing. But there was a tricky part where he pulled out a cage from nowhere. And even more so, he converted that cage with a bird inside into its exact replica. So you must be curious to know the secret behind this trick. Then here's the actual secret. The thing you see in his hand is actually a flash paper, which is used to create quick flash of fire to hide out the quick moments. Also, if you look closely, you'll see that he positions his right hand at his back for a while. And during this moment that he hides the folding case somewhere inside his right hand sleeve. Now, using the momentum of the quick flash fire, he brings out the folding cage and instantaneously transforms it into a bigger size cage. The bird then moves inside the cage, and then Darcy Oak brings out an exact replica of that cage with a bird inside. For this part of the trick also, he brings out a folding cage from his back and using a quick flash fire transforms it into a bigger one and creates an illusion that shocks everyone. Now you must be thinking, how come the second bird appear inside the cage? For this, he uses a folding cage with a bird already fitted inside it, as you can see here. And that bird you see is a fake one and not real, which you can make out by observing carefully that it never moves. So this is how exactly the cage illusion was performed. Identical twins magic act. Tony and his twin brother Jordan once performed an amazing magic trick that brought the America's Got Talent judges and the audience to their feet. The act combined the power of magic and technology. Here's what they did. Tony began the trick by stepping behind a giant screen he brought onto the stage. Then all of a sudden he appears on the screen. On screen he splits himself into two, making the audience realize that they are not just looking at Tony, but also his identical twin brother Jordan. From there on, Tony and Jordan work together on stage to perform amazing, cool, interactive stuff on the screen, as you can see here. Now, the interactive stuff of the act is quite obvious to understand. They just have a video playing on the big screen, and the twin brothers don't really interact with the screen or affect what is happening on it. Before this act, they had just practiced hard enough to make sure exactly what they need to do on the stage, thus creating the illusion that they are interacting with the screen. So, a lot of tricks performed in a very short time, and we'll be revealing these following key secrets. Turning napkins to red dress. After the girl appears on the screen, Tony and Jordan shoot red napkin-like cloth at her. The red napkin flies to the screen and becomes a red dress on the girl. How is this done? Well, they don't really shoot the napkin at her. The real napkin actually disappears into the sleeves as soon as they let go of them with one hand. This is done using a gimmick called Checo, which pulls the napkin using elastic bands into the sleeves. At the same moment, two red cloths appear on the screen, fly towards the girl and transform into a dress. Basically, everything happens on the screen. All Tony and Jordan have to do is to release the napkins at the right moment to create the visual illusion that they are shooting the napkins onto the screen. Lighting up the bulb. Tony never lit that up. It was just the video playing on the screen which made the illusion of bulb lighting up. Also, you can see how he gets rid of the bulb behind his bookshelf. The balloon illusion. At one point, Jordan takes a yellow balloon and hands it over to the girl on the screen. If you look at the video closely, you can actually see the balloon in his hand exploding and the pieces falling to the floor. This explains how he makes the balloon disappear by picking it up. At the same time, the balloon appears in the on-screen video. The twin girls appearing on the stage. If you pause the video, you can see this small cupboard to the right of the screen where the girls are actually hiding. Before they appear, you can also see how Jordan conceals the view with the blanket, which enables the girls to crawl from behind the cupboard towards the middle of the stage. Produce card out of thin air. Have you ever seen a magician produce cards out of thin air? It's one of those tricks where the move is so cool that it looks so spectacular. And do not be fooled by the simplicity of this trick. It is very visual and can be real reputation maker if you perfect it. The only thing you need is a pack of cards and a lot of patience day in, day out. Well, here's the secret. The magician places the card behind his hand on the back of his palm and gently opens his first finger and the little finger, then closes it with a very slight bow in the card. This is the first position where the audience thinks that the hand is empty. He then closes his hand and pushes his thumb onto the card as it sits on the nails of his middle and ring finger. Finally, he slides his nails out so that he's holding the card with the pads of his middle and ring finger. He pulls this trick off by increasing his hand movements to show both sides of his hand without flashing the card. As you can see here, the magician performs this trick with a great speed and the height is such that it hides any flashes of the card moving from back to front and then back again, thus making the card appear out of thin air. So do you like this trick? How would you perform if given a pack of cards? Did it work out for you? Post your comments below and let us know your thoughts.